Hello, everyone. This is Angela. Welcome back to my channel. So this is going to be part 4 of the part 5 series. I told you about the conversation that I had with this middle-aged woman, an Italian woman, who lives in America, and she resides in and she works in the Chicago area. And she was really, we really had a heart-to-heart conversation when it came to like the see something, say something aspect of the violence that continues to go noticed as well as unnoticed today, and as well as being raised by racist parents, and what to do and what to say when you find out that your child has sparked an interest in a same-sex partner. And also another conversation that we had was based on like her residing in a predominantly white neighborhood and her children going to a predominantly white school district and the violence that she witnesses or her children relate to her, convey to her, or things that they have witnessed. So we had that. So that'll be part 5. That'll be the last part. But this part is going to be based on the violence in the inner cities, whereas she really, she said that she works in the Chicago area. And over the last couple of years, I think, for the pandemic, whatever, we have seen an outcry of violence and an elevated violence when it came to
Alert from iMovie. Share successful.
We have seen an outpour of violence, not necessarily support, because there's so many things that so many people don't know what to do. They don't know where to go to get the needed assistance. They don't know where to get help. They don't know what questions to ask. And it was a very intense conversation. She asked me the question to where, yeah, we all see this violence occurring within the city of Detroit, or not the city of Detroit, well, Detroit too, but Chicago, New York, a lot of inner cities where the violence has increased, the drug use and overdoses have increased. And she asked me the question, well, what do we do about it? Is there anything that we can do about it? There is a lot that we can do about it, but you and me trying to tackle certain situations that is out of our control will not resolve anything. I explained to her, it's going to take a lot more than us sitting here having a conversation. It's going to take more than us trying to go into the inner city, being, terrified or scared, walking on eggshells, or even being susceptible to like robbery, being killed, and things like that, wherever. It's going to take a lot more than that, to where it's like you have to get individuals with the necessary power or authoritarian or authoritative figures to enter in within the city and outside of the city to get involved, to come together and figure out what needs to be done to rectify the situation. I told her we can sit down, we can have a conversation all day, all night, and it could be a never-ending conversation. But the way that the way that it works is the people who live in where the violence is primarily occurring is within the inner cities, in the rural communities, the underserved communities, underrepresented communities, where the people who live there, they're on defense day in and day out. They already feel as though that society is against them, to where they are not provided with the same opportunities as an individual who look like her. Whereas again, she's an Italian woman, but me on the outside looking in, I see you as a white woman, to where it's like I wouldn't be able to, just sitting there looking at you, I wouldn't be able to associate you with being an Italian woman. I didn't know that she was Italian until she opened her mouth to tell me, which is another conversation that we had in reference to how she see people or judge people. She mentioned to me, not to get off topic, but she mentioned to me that when she saw like anybody who may have been like Japanese, Vietnamese, Chinese, or anything like that, whatever, she automatically associated them with being Asian. And I explained to her, I was like, you can't do that. Until you know what they are or what they is, whatever, then yeah, maybe you can do that because that's how I played you. I mean, I placated you to be. But that was me automatically assuming. And but those are the type of individuals where they have some kind of distinction, whatever, so you may be able to associate them with being a Vietnamese individual, a Chinese person, a Japanese person, or any person of that caliber. But going back to the inner city situation, the people who live in these communities are those who may be poor, who again are underserved. They feel as though society is against them. They're not afforded the same opportunities again as an individual who looks like you, who may have the white skin. So they're always defensive. They're always trying to find a way to come up or to maybe kill off the competition. They're always trying to find a way, period. Even if it means stealing from a person who may have found the means to get up off their tail and go out there and get a job to establish some kind of lifestyle for their child. Whereas though they may be too lazy to get up off of their tails or to do that, or they may have been ostracized or blackballed because they have been to jail, they may have a criminal record history and things like that, to where they can't get this. They're not afforded the same opportunities to get an education, whereas they may not have the necessary internet connections, again, the broadband connections, where they have the digital divide when it comes to living in certain areas like that. They don't have stable internet connections. So again, that's part of them being subjected to the underserved community. There is a lot of things that needs to be taken into consideration when you ask the question of what can we do about it? There's no simple answer for that. Again, you have to get individuals within the community involved as well as those on the outside involved. And when you try to get those who are within the inner city, when you try to get them involved, again, because they have developed a defense attitude or given to their defense mechanisms are at its highest peak. When you go in there and you try to talk to these individuals and they already see that society is against them, they may not take you seriously. They may take it as though you are out for yourself. This is something that you're doing for your own personal benefits. So whereas like if you want to really engage with these individuals, whatever, it's not going to take one conversation, one phone call, one this, one that, where it's going to take an array of communication, an array of communications, an array of engagements, an array of actions and behaviors where they don't want you to talk, whatever, they want you to be about it. They want to see action. Are you really serious? what have you done or what have you said or anything like that? How is it that I need to know that I can trust you? I need to know that you have my best interest. Society is against me. Prove me wrong. It's going to take a lot. And I really explained to her, if you are able to if you are able to have a breakthrough with certain individuals within the city who has developed a certain reputation or other individuals look up to them for certain things, this can have a domino effect to where it's like, yes, this can be done. I want to have a life change, or I want to change my life for the better. I don't want to do this anymore. This is not me. Or it's like, it can have a domino effect to where that person can talk to other individuals who may have developed the same attitude or the same lifestyle or engage in the same actions and behaviors as that person. And this person now has a certain influence on these individuals. So yeah, this person may be able to really resonate with the other people to have them change their lives or change their lifestyles. When you ask the question, what can we do about the inner city violence, wherever there's so much that needs to be done. There's so much, I don't have all the right answers. I am not a political figure. I am not part of the government entities. I am not affiliated with anything of that nature. She herself was, though. She was an authority figure. And it's kind of crazy because here it is, where you ask me this. These are questions, and it's like, I'm not sure. If you ask me this question, whatever, and these are things that you should have some kind of idea, because you asked me this. These are some questions that you should be like bouncing around. Yeah, these are some things that you should be bouncing around, or you should be bouncing ideas off of other individuals that you work with or reside with. Us sitting here having a conversation, we could just have a general conversation. We're not going to come up with an answer or conclusion. We could bounce ideas off of one another. She made a statement to me to where it's like she's a supervisor for a certain group, and because she worked in the Chicago area, she allows her employees to go home before it gets dark outside, wherever. Therefore, they are not scared to walk to their cars. Or they're not scared to walk down the street because they're fearful of getting robbed, raped, or mugged, or anything like that. And she even provides them with the opportunities to work from home. She said for herself, whatever, that she rarely goes into the office, to where she works from home primarily. So the question still remains, what do you do about the inner city crimes? What do you do about the inner city crimes? You still have the drug issues. You still have high suicide rates. You still have those individuals who don't want to get vaccinated, to where they continue to spread the COVID virus and the variants. You still have guns, where people of all ages, even children, are able to get guns and kill one another. Even police officers are killing 10 and 14-year-old kids who are in possession of weapons. Kids are getting shot or killed due to gun violence and drive-by shootings. What can we do? I am not against the Second Amendment. But when it comes to the Second Amendment, there has to be some kind of stipulations. There has to be some harshly enforceable rules that people must abide by in order to make this gun violence stop. It is sad that you can just buy a gun off of the internet. With no background check. Children. Walking around openly carrying weapons. And you ask the question, what do we do about it? I mean, what can we do about it? The jails are already overcrowded. The death rates continue to go up, and they're not going to stop going up as long as we continue to have the drugs, the overdose, territorial gangs, gang initiations. It's not going to stop. It's not going to stop. Continue to ask yourself this question, what can we do about it? What can we do about it? If somebody tries to get involved, whatever, then they're risking their own personal life and even the life of their family members or loved ones. At some point, we have to get it right, but just looking at the broader picture, whatever, I don't think that is nowhere in the near future. It's nowhere in the near future. Even the individuals who wants to give back to their community, to help out their community, to uplift other individuals within their community, their lives are being taken. What is it? Jealousy, envy? I mean, you too can be this person. At some point, it has to stop. It's not going to start with me getting on here and disclosing this information or just like talking or sharing my random thoughts. But these are conversations that need to be had. Too many people are terrified to ask the question. Too many people are terrified or afraid to open their mouths because they're scared of what others may think of them. It's sad that you live in in alleged land of the free, but yet you're terrified to do and say certain things. We all want change to come, but it won't come fast enough. We can change for ourselves, but then when we change for ourselves, then we're called sellouts. And if we want to do better for ourselves forever, then again, we're ostracized, we're talked about, we're ridiculed because I want better for myself. I want better for my kids. I mean, what kind of sense does that make? At some point, we all have to grow up. All have to take a certain responsibility. We all have to be held accountable for our actions and our behaviors. At some point. I mean, and it's like the starting point. The starting point is going to take one person at a time, and one person at a time, and one individual at a time to get their mind right, to say that they don't want this life. They don't want to live this life anymore. I want change. I want change for the better. It's not going to happen until you change your mindset, you change your attitudes, you change your behaviors, you change the individuals that you associate yourself with. When they see that you change for the greater good, maybe they may follow along. Again, like I say, it may be a domino effect. You may have a domino effect. Give back to the community. Take care of your community. Take care of those who live within your community. It's like you don't have to rob, steal, kill, or do anything because 9 times out of 10, where if you ask somebody for something, whatever, the people that you just robbed, whatever, will probably be the ones that would gave it to you without question. So again, continue to ask the question. And all of the violence that goes on within the inner cities is it's not only Chicago. There is New York, there is Michigan, there is all of these places, Atlanta, Tennessee, Texas, everywhere. There is some in other countries. Continue to ask the question, what can we do about it? What can we do about it? So many times we depend on authority figures to make the change when we have the power within ourselves to make the changes ourselves. Use it, use it, use it. So I'm going to end this video here. And again, this video was based on what do you do when you are subjected to, or you continue to witness the inner city gun violences, drugs, the overdoses, crime, and things of that nature. What can you do? Ask yourself this question. You within the city and you individuals outside of the city, because it's not necessarily within the cities. I mean, it's not only happening within the cities, it's happening everywhere. It doesn't have to be a rural community. It's occurring in these suburban communities. You just don't hear about it. Continue to ask yourself this question. Ask yourself, what can you do about it? What can you do to get involved? What can others do about it? Who can you bring along to help you help rectify the situation? Okay, so I'm going to end this video. Thank you guys for watching, and stay tuned for part 5 of these much needed conversations. The next conversation is going to be based on school violence. Thanks.